Hi, Ryder Ben. So I'm going to finish this Geronimo Stilton singing sensation. Try that 3 times fast. A mysterious submarine. There was no time to waste. We had to get out of that camper or we'd be mouse roast for sure. At last we made it to the door and burst outside. We were just in time. The Cruel Cat Express took off at breakneck speed. I was so exhausted I collapsed on the ground. Big mistake. Seconds later, a super fit mouse on a bicycle built for 3 skidded to a stop inches from my snout. Can you guess who it was? It was Champ Strongpaws, of course. Hop on, he squeaked. We've got to stop those cats. We jumped on the bike and the 3 of us began to pedal frantically. Sweat sprang from my fur. Did I mention I'm not much of a sport mouse? Look at, they're chasing the Cruel Cat Express. We had almost reached the camper when we saw something black and shiny in the water. Was it a shark? Was it the Loch Ness Monster? No, it was a black submarine with the same inscription as the black camper, Cruel Cat Express. A large door opened on the sub, then the camper disappeared inside. PP let out an evil laugh as the submarine took off into the night. I was glad I had my camera on me. A cat with a steel paw riding on a submarine. You had to see it to believe it. Let's go. Soon the submarine sank into the churning waves and disappeared from sight. I stared out over the dark ocean, deep in thought. Even though the cat had gone, I was still worried. I wondered if and when PP would come back. I wondered what evil plan he was cooking up on Cat Island. I wondered if he was cooking up mice. Suddenly, I began to feel sick to my stomach. Maybe it was the cycling. Maybe it was the stinky fish oil in my fur. But whatever it was, there was one thing I knew for sure. It was time to go home. Let's go, I told my friends. We rode back through the streets of New Mouse City. At that moment, I saw some newspapers fluttering by in the breeze. I had a brilliant idea. If I hurried, I could publish a special edition of the Rodents Gazette. It would be fabulous. Special edition. Stop the presses. My friends dropped me off at the Rodents Gazette. I ran straight into the office. Stop the presses, I squeaked at the top of my lungs. We're going to do a special edition of the Gazette. It's sensational news. I raced toward the press room with my staff following me down the hallway. My secretary, Marcella Mackmouser, took notes as I explained my exciting adventure. I told everyone about Pussycat Pulverizer's plot to sell thousands of stolen CDs. I told them about his black camper and submarine, the Cruel Cat Express, and about his whiny cousin Cleveland. Then I showed everyone the photos I had taken. I couldn't take my eyes off one shot of PP racing for the submarine. I felt like he was staring right at me. Cheese niblets. I was glad we had escaped from such an evil cat. Here are the photos I shot during the incredible adventure. I printed them in my newspaper. The Cruel Cat Express submarine, photo number 1. Pussycat Pulverizer entering the submarine. The submarine going underwater. The Rodents Gazette Special Edition. Ooh. Get back to work. The special edition was a big success. I was so happy I even got a note from my impossibly hard-to-please grandfather, William Shortpaws. It read, "Nice going, Geronimo. Now get back to work. Grandfather William." I smiled. My grandfather William was one tough mouse. You might even say he was as tough as a cat. Banana Bonanza Buffet. The next night, Hercule had a party at his house. He invited Champ, me, and all of my friends from the Rodent Gazette. I put on my best jacket. I combed my fur until it gleamed. Then I added a spritz of cologne. I felt great. I arrived at Hercules' house right on time. But when I rang the bell, disaster struck. First globs of honey rained down on my head. Then a fan blew a cloud of feathers at me. I looked like a mouse who had been attacked by a gang of crazed chickens. I stomped into Hercules' kitchen, showering the place with feathers. Oh, how did I get myself into such a mess? At that moment, I noticed a strange scent in the air. What did you make for dinner, Hercule?" I asked suspiciously. Hercule grinned. "You're not going to believe this, Stilton. Tonight I have whipped up what I like to call a banana bonanza buffet," he squeaked. "I made banana appetizers, banana soup, banana cheese loaf, and even banana ice cream for dessert." I clutched my stomach. Did I mention I hate bananas? I was feeling worse than ever. My tail had stuck to the countertop. There was a feather in my nose, and I was starving. In the other room, I could hear Hercule greeting our friends. Everyone was laughing and talking as the house filled with guests. I listened for a minute, and then I made a decision. I found a piece of stale bread and a crust of blue cheese in Hercules' refrigerator. Then I took a shower, put on one of Hercules' robes, and joined my friends. After all, it's not the food that makes a perfect dinner party. It's the company of good friends. Here are some jokes we heard at Hercules' dinner party. "I was walking under a window when a radio fell on my head," Fred Nibbles tells his friend. "Holy cheese! Did you get hurt?" asked his friend. "No. Luckily, it was playing soft music." Furbrain and his wife leave for vacation. At the airport, Furbrain stamps his paws and says, "I should have brought the piano." "What for?" asks his wife. "Because I left the plane tickets on it." Mrs. Rat is singing loudly in the shower. "What did you do with the money?" asked Mr. Rat. "What money?" replies Mrs. Rat. "The money I gave you for singing lessons." Those are mean. Rat munching rattlesnakes. The following month, I was working quietly when I heard a commotion outside my office. A second later, my door burst open and Champ Strongpaws zoomed in. He was riding a bicycle built for two, which is also known as a tandem bicycle. Before I could ask him why he was riding a bike with two seats, Champ rolled over my tail and skidded to a stop. "Rat munching rattlesnakes," I screeched, jumping to my paws. Champ grinned. "Mr. G, you must be reading my mind," he squeaked. "I was just thinking about snakes. In fact, I came here to tell you about the exciting trip I have planned for us. Just imagine a dry desert under the blazing sun, sand dunes as far as the eye can see, and strange wild animals like poisonous snakes and spiders as large as chickens." I shivered. Why was Champ talking about a trip for the two of us? It was then that I noticed the sleeping bags, tents, and canteens attached to Champ's bicycle. Oh no, not one of Champ's crazy bike races. I wasn't an athlete, plus I was way too busy at work. In a daze, I listened as Champ went on about all of the things we would do and see. We would pedal for miles on end, drinking cactus juice and frying eggs by the heat of the blistering sun. Whew! I felt tired just imagining it. Without thinking, I plopped down on the back of Champ's bicycle. I heard a triumphant screech. Yay! Champ squeaked. Then he began to pedal like a mad mouse. I knew you wouldn't miss this trip, Mr. G, he cried. Adventure, here we come. At first, I tried to stop him. Then I gave up and started to pedal. Having a wild desert adventure might be sort of fun after all. I mean, if a mouse like me could become a singing sensation, then I guess anything really is possible. Okay. I hope you liked Geronimo Stilton, the singing sensation. I love you, my little man.